Hey guys, today I just wanted to make this quick little video as another tier list. So I have a tier list on the Gen 1 sets, and I have a tier list on the Gen 2 sets, but this tier list is something like completely different. So it's going to be a tier list on all the different kinds of gimmicks. Not all of them. I know that I'm missing a lot of them, but these are just some of the gimmicks that I just thought off of the top of my head. So we're just going with these ones for now. Let me upload this picture. So yeah, so I just want to start off with the dark Pokemon. So dark Pokemon were introduced to us in the Team Rocket expansion, and there's no like specific artist that worked on dark Pokemon. There's no like it's not like a specific thing. So artists like Ken Sugimori, Mitsuhiro Rita, Kagemaru Himeno, you had a lot of them in Team Rocket. So we have like Dark Golbat, as well. And the dark Pokemon are pretty cool. They are the first kind of like gimmick of thing, like the Pokemon TCG, except for like the gym leaders Pokemon. But I would say that, well, this is before that. So yeah, this is like the first kind of gimmick in the Pokemon TCG. Um, and they're cool. They're not like I think the thing about them is that like the artwork themselves is supposed to be more evil rather than like the borders or anything else like that. Like when it says dark, it just means that the Pokemon is controlled by Team Rocket, I think, and then it's just like means that they're a little bit like evil, more evil than they usually are. Um, but overall, for a first mechanic, it fits really well in the Team Rocket set. I mean, I can't really give it anything lower than like a B tier though. It's a good mechanic, good starting mechanic. Team Rockets is a fantastic set, and this is no indication of like how good Team Rocket is, because Team Rocket is a really good set, but this is like its own separate thing. Next, I have the Shining Pokemon. So there are two versions of them, and I'll be talking about them separately. But firstly, we have the Shinings from Neo Revelation. So we have the Shining Magikarp and the Shining Gyarados. These two are super nice. These two all will have the name Shining. Most of them are illustrated by Ken Sugimori, but some of them are illustrated by Hironobu Yoshida. Um, so there's two kind of different versions of them. So that we have the ones from Neo Destiny and the one from Neo Revelation. They're both kind of the same though. They're both just shiny Pokemon with the name Shining. Um, Shining Pokemon have a lot of different variety, a lot of different kinds. Like look at the shiny Mewtwo; it looks really nice. Illustrated by Hironobu Yoshida, who is like a prominent artist in like the older sets, so it's we kind of see like a little bit more of their artwork back in the day, and we get to see some more unique Ken Sugimori illustrations as well, which do look really nice. There's always these really nice effects on the cards. This Shining Steelix looks kind of weird. I think that's just like the like Bulbapedia being weird. Shining Raichu looks kind of faded too. I think there's a good image of the Shining Charizard though. So yeah, you have like these darker outlines of the Pokemon, and then I think when you, depending on how you move them, um, it'll like kind of like illuminate the card itself. So they're cool. Are they as cool as Dark Pokemon? I don't know. I would put them on like the same level as them, maybe a little bit higher, like maybe an A tier. But these are subject to change, I think. Next, we have the light Pokemon. So light Pokemon are only in Neo Destiny. So we only saw a couple light Pokemon introduced, but we do have some really nice illustrations by artists like Atsuko Nishida, and some other like I think we have some by Miki Tanaka as well. Yeah, like the light Machoke, and then there was one by Masako Yamashita, the light Venomoth. It's really not the best image, but kind of get to see a little bit more like the light Pokemon aesthetic. So it's very similar to like the dark Pokemon aesthetic, where it's kind of like a Pokemon with a name light, and it's like just showing the Pokemon in a more cutie, like cutesy environment. But I think it works really well with the hollows. Even like the light Dragonite is super cool comparatively even to the dark Dragonite. I think it's a pretty awesome looking card. And light Pokemon is a super unique mechanic, only showed up in Neo Destiny, so we didn't really get to see any more of it. But I thought it was cool. I thought it was a cool little mechanic, and it also got like a little bit of a rerun for celebrations because they remade all these old cards. So we got a light toxicity card, which looks really nice. It kind of follows that older style, really nice homage to like the older ones, and it fits. I could probably see it as like a light Pokemon card, like from back in the day. Um, Maybe a little bit more detailed, but still, that's just a matter of the times changing. You had some by Masako Yamashita too. Really nice artists working on these really nice light dark Pokemon. I'm gonna put it. Uh, Actually, here, hold on. I'm gonna move up the dark Pokemon. I'm gonna put light Pokemon in B tier. But we also have more dark Pokemon. So these other dark Pokemon were introduced in the Team Rocket expansion, Team Rocket Returns expansion. Sorry. So we can scroll all the way down here to what's this? Oh, those are promo cards. I've never seen those before. And some of them are like game exclusives, I think. That's not really important for the kind of like point of this video. Because we're here to talk about, let's see here. Yeah, the dark Pokemon. So this is the second run of dark Pokemon that they had, where they would feature these like really cool like why is these like these really low quality images? That's so annoying. Dark Tyranitar maybe has a good picture. Yes, okay, cool. So the Dark Pokemon from Team Rocket Returns, they had these really nice like black borders, and they were also like usually dual typing. So you'd see like this Dark Tyranitar has the fighting and the Dark type, which is a really unique idea. You didn't really get to see a lot of these like unique gameplay aspects back in the previous sets, so it's really cool. The cards themselves look really cool too, like the Dark Houndoom. You got to see a lot more illustrations by like a newer artist at this time, which was Nakaoka. But you also got some by these other artists that don't really show up, like Emi Miwa. I think they only had like two cards total. You got this one by Emi Miwa as well. So you kind of had like more newer artists working on the Dark Pokemon in terms of like you didn't really get to see like a lot of like older artists working on them except for Mitsuhiro Rita, who worked on the Dark Muck, the Dark Marowak, and a couple other ones. But I would say that these ones are a little bit more like interesting. They're a little bit cooler than the older Dark Pokemon, so I'm gonna put them in S tier. I think they're really cool. I really like the dark borders, making the Pokemon themselves the dark type fits really well. Um, and yeah, I think it just looks really cool. Next, I want to talk about the Gold Star Pokemon. So Gold Star Pokemon are all illustrated by Masakazu Fukuda. There isn't a single one that isn't illustrated by Masakazu Fukuda. Even the remake one, which is the Greninja Gold Star, which is like the Celebrations promo, um, which is really, really cool. Um, actually, I think I'm... hold on one second. I also wanted to talk about Pokemon Prime, because Pokemon Prime are a little bit, like, different, and they're a little bit older, so good middle ground there. But yeah, so Masakazu Fukuda worked on every single Gold Star Pokemon, and they're all, from all the EX era sets. These cards are fantastic. I mean, you could show like these cards are just they're timeless. They're so cool. They're like any you could be happy if you had any of these Gold Star Pokemon. Even like the cheaper ones are really nice. Like the Reggies are really nice. I actually don't know what the cheapest one is. Probably the promo one. The promo Gold Star Greninja is probably the cheapest one, but it's still pretty cool, even for just like a regular promo. Obviously, you have like, oh, what are these Japanese images? I really want to show you these cards because they're really cool, but they have these like really low quality Japanese images. But look at like the Groudon Gold Star is super nice. It's cool because they have these like hollow borders as well, kind of bleed out of the card, and then the actual like Pokemon themselves, their hands are like not specifically their hands, but like some of their body parts, depending on the Pokemon. Like for the Alakazam, it's like the spoon is like outside of the border of the card, which I think looks really cool. Um, and yeah, the fact that they're all illustrated by Masakazu Fukuda, who is like a very prominent EX era illustrator, bumps it all the way up to S tier. I mean, there's no question there. I think it's top of S tier for sure, like easily. And you had like a really wide variety of Pokemon too, not specifically just super popular Pokemon too. You had like Alakazam get one, Celebi, the Reggies, not extremely popular. I'm sure they were popular at the time, but you just had like a good variety of like popular and non-popular kind of Pokemon. I would say all the ones that they have here are like on the higher end in terms of popularity, but still like it was a very good variety, and there's a lot of them. So it's like you can pick whichever one is your favorite because there's just so many unique ones. They always looked so nice. Like even like the super rare ones, like the Espeon and the Umbreon, look super super nice. Next, I wanted to talk about the Pokemon Prime, introduced in the Heart Gold and Soul Silver era. So you had these really really nice like Pokemon cards that were like these close-ups. I don't know if there was like a primary illustrator. I think these are all mostly just like 3D illustrated Pokemon cards, so there's not like an actual unified kind of artists because these names don't really ring a bell to me. I haven't really seen any of them so far in terms of my set related videos, so I can't really speak on like the specific artists themselves. But all of these cards feature these 3D illustrations of the Pokemon really close up, and there's always like this little shine featured on any of the cards. So you'll see like on every single one of the Prime cards, there's always like a glint or like a shine. So like on the Absol, it's right there by its eye. Usually it was by the eye or by the mouth. I think for the Typhlosion, there's two versions. One of them has it by the mouth, or it's like I think that was for the Feraligatr one actually. This one has it right by the eye, and then the other one should probably also have it by the eye as well. Yeah, it has it like right on top of the eye. So they would always have this like glint on them, which looks really cool. Um, and this one is really cool actually. The Kingdra Prime. I really like the illustrated like background with like the waves and stuff like that. Um, really cool looking like special cards. The Mew looks super nice too with like the cosmic background. And then you had like I think there should be a Yon. Oh yeah, there's like a Yon Mega one. I'm seeing this artist name a lot. No Norio Noriko Hota. Never heard of them before. Then you have the Dragapult Prime promo. This one's by 5-Man Graphics, which is that makes sense. They kind of move forward in the future in the modern times, but it was really cool to get these like older, like really cool Pokemon, even some unpopular Pokemon like Ursaring and stuff like that, get the kind of treatment that other popular Pokemon get. Like even, Yon Mega, not a popular Pokemon at all. Donphan is not a super popular Pokemon, but it got a really cool looking Prime card, and it's just like I think these cards really shine. So I would have to put them in like S tier for sure. And I think I'm gonna move these down a little bit. I think I'm gonna just like overall move everything down a little bit. I think that seems a little bit better. Um, Next, we have the Team Plasma Pokemon. So Team Plasma Pokemon were introduced in like the Black and White era, and you got like a bunch of regular ones. So you have like these like really cool looking 3D illustrations, mixed with the nice hollows from the Black and White era, where it was like solid lines across. And then you have these really cool looking blue borders mixed with like the Team Plasma name right there. Um, Makes for some really nice looking cards. Like that Metagross one is actually super nice. I guess there's a Okay, so there's like a full art Darkrai, textured full art Darkrai promo, which looks super nice. It looks super cool actually. And then you have like, let's see if we got any other ones. Yeah, cool looking Porygon Z. So you'd have like these really nice looking like um blue bordered Pokemon cards with these really nice illustrations. And I think that like overall, I think that the plasma team plasma cards, they really shined in terms of like the EXs. So let's take Deoxys, my favorite Pokemon. So the regular EX has these really nice like blue borders mixed with like the psychic effects and like the splashes and explosions and stuff like that, mixed with this really nice illustration by SK Yoshinobu. So it's like a 3D artwork, but kind of like mixed with 2D. And then you also got full art for the Pokemon, which is really cool. These Team Plasma full arts are awesome. They have like these really super profound, or not profound, pronounced blue borders. And then they would give the Pokemon like these really cool blue outlines. That's applicable to even like the Lugia. The Lugia is super nice. This is a really bad picture of the Lugia. Hold on. But there are these really nice looking cards. Like look at it, it has like the Team Plasma logo in the background, and then you have like these really nice blue outlines mixed with like the blue borders. I think like overall these cards are really fantastic. I can't put them any lower than A tier. I think they're really great. Um, are they as good as Prime cards? Maybe not, but overall I would say that they're pretty good still. Now I have the Prism Pokemon. So Prism Pokemon are kind of like a smaller thing in the Sun and Moon era. Look, there's only like a couple of them. They had these black borders, so they were pretty cool in terms of like the design aspect. You didn't really get a lot of Pokemon cards with black borders before that. And they featured some trainers and some kind of like legendary Pokemon. I think one of the coolest ones is probably the Giratina Prism, which is illustrated by Masakazu Fukuda, who did all those gold stars that I was talking about earlier. You also had like a Ditto one. There's a Tapu Koko one. The Tapu Koko one's alright. It's by Koki Saito. These ones don't really have like a lot of unification in terms of artists. So you got to see a lot of different kinds of artworks from different artists. But they did look pretty cool, actually. I like the black borders a lot. I like the yellow, or not yellow, the white prism in the middle, mixed with like the explosion effect, and then you have like these cool little 3D prisms on the side. Nothing too special. I don't think I would put them above like light Pokemon or anything like that. I put them in like the C tier. Not that they're bad, because I don't think any of these mechanics are bad at all. I just think that out of all of these, it was probably like the weaker, like one of the weaker ones. But we also have the newer Shinings from Shining Legends, which is a Sun and Moon set. So you got like Shining Rayquaza. These ones are really cool. I really like the designs of these ones. They kind of went away with like the old way of doing it, where it's kind of like the Pokemon is just an outline. Instead, they just made them look like, the shiny Pokemon. Um, Again, a lot of different illustrations from different artists to showcase the different shiny Pokemon. But you got some really nice ones here, like the Shining Ho-Oh promo. I think this was the ETB promo for the set. You have Shining Lugia, which is another promo, I'm pretty sure. But this one is also nice. I'm seeing a couple by Hitoshi Ariga. I don't know if that's. Let's see here. Yeah, I think one of the main artists for these newer Shining Pokemon was Hitoshi Ariga, which is pretty cool. Um, you also got this one, which is pretty nice, the Jirachi. I would say the newer Shining Pokemon are maybe not as strong as the. Actually, I think they're stronger. I'm gonna put them a little bit above the older Shining Pokemon. That might be a hot take, but just my opinion. And then we have Tag Team Pokemon. So Tag Team Pokemon, this is the most recent like gimmick that I could say. Obviously have VMAX, V Stars, and then you had like alternate arts, but I don't think that's really a gimmick because this was a gimmick, a tag team Pokemon. So they had these like yellow borders and then they had like the tag team name on them, and they would always feature two Pokemon. Typically would be illustrations by Mitsuhiro Rita. So this is the special art. So these ones had alternate arts as well, which is really cool. So we have the Magikarp and Wailord GX by Mitsuhiro Rita, which is a really nice card. Apparently this one is a promo, which I did not know. Celebi and Venusaur. And I think most of them up to Cosmic Eclipse were illustrated by Mitsuhiro Ida, so we didn't really get to see a lot of other illustrations. Like even so, like the Mewtwo and Mew GX tag team was illustrated by Mitsuhiro Ida. You would get these really nice illustrations of two Pokemon fighting as one. Um, and I think these cards are honestly all alt art level, like are alt art quality, even for just the regular cards. You would get these really nice illustrations of two different Pokemon, and I think that is something that like is kind of like looked over now. There was a huge boom in terms of the alt art Pokemon, but I think that's kind of going away now, which is good for the people who want to collect them because I would jump on them now, honestly. Just buy as many as you can because these are really, really unique, novel artworks, really, really unique and novel ones. But we actually have a different artist working on the Solgaleo and Lunala, which is Hideki Ishikawa. Um, they also worked on the alternate art as well. And then we have I think there's another one. Yeah, Blastoise and Piplup is different. No, no, no. Reshiram and Zekrom, yeah. So Reshiram and Zekrom, this one's illustrated by Naoki Saito. Yeah, I mean, like, look, it's just like honestly alternate artwork quality level of artwork just for a regular GX. Plus, they also had an alternate art for them as well, which looks fantastic as well. Um, and then they really went off with the alternate arts as well because you had the regular print, which was typically by Mitsuhiro Rita, but you would also have a special art print by a different artist typically. So this is the RC Stallion Palkia by Koki Saito. Then you have like the Sogo Leon Lunala, which is by the same artist that did the regular GX, which is Hideki Ishikawa. Um, and you just get these like really fantastic artworks of two different Pokemon collaborating as one, which is like one of the coolest ideas I think they've ever had, one of the best ideas they've ever had, and one that I want to see again. So I will put this at the top of S tier. This is the best mechanic, in my opinion, in probably ever, like honestly, probably ever created. I would say that this is probably the best mechanic ever created in the Pokemon TCG, other than art rares and trainer gallery. Those are gimmicks. I would say those are gimmicks. Um, so those ones I would probably say are better, but tag teams, man, it's hard to beat the tag teams. The tag teams are just so cool. But yeah, that was my tier list of all the different kind of mechanics. Not mechanics. They're not mechanics. They're gimmicks. It's a gimmick tier list. Um, and yeah, if you disagree with my gimmick tier list, then let me know in the comments. And I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. See you later.